Hi, respectful greetings to all of you. I would like to keep focus and constantly remember that Jesus Christ does not want us to be docile, brainwashed, and slaves to do just work and pay taxes and fees, to stay impoverished and not own anything, to put up with lies, cheats, and corruptions. Jesus Christ wants us to not overlook facts and this way to be compliance with the committed crimes by psychopathic people of any social class, position, background, wealth, education, or family ties, crimes committed in our very eyesight and our knowledge. Being Christian does not mean we have to stay and suffer. Let's follow courageously his example. Another wave of sad news on the prison planet. EU approves $54 billion in fresh aid for Ukraine. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban has cleared the way for billions in fresh aid from the European Union to Ukraine, and the US House of Representatives has overwhelmingly passed a bipartisan tax package. Hungary as well as the USA is actively and constantly pillaging the hard-working population with taxes and fees because these psychopaths are losing their minds in the euphoria of warmongering. So here we have it. The European Union sealed a deal on aid to Ukraine. EU leaders clinched the agreement just an hour after they began a summit. The deal came quickly after Hungary lifted its veto. Probably the military intimidation and monetary manipulations worked now, because before Hungary had been the only EU nation blocking the funding, which must be approved unanimously ahead of the summit. Estonian Prime Minister Kaja Kallas, whose close and extended family members are not enlisted in the war meat grinder, so she's busy expressing her frustration at Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban. Means Viktor definitely wants to be the center of attention every time we are here, but it shouldn't be like this to everyone's surprise, according to her, using personal bullying vs to acknowledge that if money is not burned into ashes by war is more prosperity for the population. Hungary had to quickly reverse its stance to support the roughly $54 billion package, which will help Kiev keep its economy running in 2024 and sustain essential services such as healthcare, education, social protection and pensions. The European Union's aid to Ukraine comes as American aid to Ukraine stalls in Congress. Republicans say they won't pass foreign aid to help Ukraine or Israel unless Congress and the president first deal with U.S. border security. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says lawmakers are still negotiating a bipartisan immigration bill to speed action on Ukraine. Rel leave: we have not concluded negotiations, so we will keep going to get this done. Democrats have always been ready and willing to have a debate on the border. We want to get this done. Meanwhile, Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell, another paper tiger and bunker dweller, has appeared to float the idea of splitting aid to Ukraine and Israel away from border security measures. Had a lot of discussions obviously about the border around here, but it's important to focus on the other rationale for the supplemental. We got two friends in the middle of a huge fight, Israel-Ukraine. They need help, but it's not clear if that view will win support from hardline congressional Republicans. Honestly, why to send money to military-industrial complex when there are plenty of things to rebuild at home? Do they care? No. So in an overwhelming vote, the House has advanced a major tax package. It offers a 3-year expansion of the child tax credit and significant business tax cuts. Observe here, children and businesses, observe the priorities of this capitalist and psychopathic government electorate. They say, as many as 500,000 children could be lifted from poverty with a margin of 357 in favor to 70 opposed. This bill was popular, but because of an anti-compromise set of House Republicans who blocked a procedural step, it also sort of had to be. It passed under something called suspension of the rules that requires a 2/3 vote of approval in the House. Bills usually just require a simple majority, and in addition to Republican opposition, some Democrats voted against it because of the more limited scope of the child tax credit expansion, which lifts fewer kids from poverty than a C-19 era version. Many Republicans, including Speaker Mike Johnson, were brought along to support by substantial tax cuts for corporations. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, in this capitalistic corporate criminal freak show system, kids are used as a distraction, and they might receive a few of red pennies from every dollar that's going to these white-collar criminal psychopaths. Never forget, a Christian and developed country that spends more money on weapons and wars than on education, infrastructure, social programs, prosperity and peace, That country is not Christian nor developed.
Brave, even if you're not, pretend to be. No one can tell the difference but God. He can fill your heart with a lion's heart's bravery if you ask and if your heart is right with him.